Hi everyone, have you ever tried building an AI assistant to talk to GitHub, Jira, Slack, your internal emails, or maybe needing access to internal documents as well? Now, this would require writing and maintaining hundreds of custom tool integrations, which will quickly become a challenge. That's exactly the problem MCP is trying to solve. So I welcome you all to this video of B Cloud Group, where we're going to talk about the basics of MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. This MCP is basically an open source protocol defined by Anthropic to standardize the way LLMs can connect to external tools and the data sources. If you look at this picture on the right hand side of your screen, you will see if we do not have MCP, the connecting of your AI applications to different data sources or external services would be too messy. So you can use an analogy of USB-C kind of a plugin where your AI application can get plugged into different other external services such as Git repositories, AWS S3 buckets, databases, Jira tickets, and this MCP protocol becomes a standard to connecting these external services to your AI application and giving the much needed access to those tools and services. Now we understand what MCP is and why does it exist. The next natural question would be, how does this actually work under the hood? So let's see that. So if you look at it, MCP isn't a single component. It's basically a structural or structured interaction model that clearly separates responsibilities between AI application, MCP servers, as well as the outside services. When we talk about the basic architecture, there are three things. One is your host, which basically houses your MCP client. Then you will have MCP servers. That MCP servers is basically will contain three different things in terms of tools, prompts, and resources, which we're going to talk about later, which in turn give access to our application to external or outside services. Now, this host or our server would be the AI application which requires access to this outside services. It will invoke MCP client which is there on that specific host on the server, and with the help of a MCP protocol, it will access MCP servers, tools, prompts, and resources to reach to the external services. So basically, if you look at it, host is your AI LLM application which has an MCP client, and then this will get connected to MCP servers, which will in turn provide access to external services. Now, every MCP server would have three things. First is tools. Tools are nothing but your functionality, which will give access to the external services and the data. Your resources would be your markdown or .md files, which will contain instructions or the readme files or the PDFs with the read-only access, and a structured prompt so that user who is making a query through the application need not to structure their prompt for the external services. MCP server would take care of it through a standardized prompts which is readily available in MCP servers. Now let's see, this architecture is basically explains the structure. Now let's take an example which explains the value, and let's try applying this MCP setup to a practical use case. Let's say you have a cloud-based application and you're building a chat interface where users can ask Claude or any other LLM or LLM based AI application like your chat GPTs, etc. About their GitHub data, which requires Claude to access uh, GitHub's API. Now a user might ask, what open pull requests are there across all my repositories, right? Now, to have this question answered by your MCP, by your AI application, it has to have access or need to run tools such as get repo, get pull request, and these tools then would interact with GitHub APIs, and then they will give the results to a application back. Now we also know that GitHub has massive functionality. It has got repos, it has got issues, it has got uh, your projects and tons more, right? Without MCP, we would need to create an incredible number of tool schemas and functions to handle all of GitHub's features, and then you need to integrate that part of the code, test them whether it works or not with the different interfaces, and then we need to maintain it as well so that it keeps on working. Now think of a scenario where GitHub changes a feature or adds a feature set to its already long list of features. Then we will end up rewriting everything to have access or to have our AI application to fetch those answers from GitHub. This will become cumbersome. Now comes into the picture your MCP or the model context protocol. Now MCP shifts this burden by moving these tool definitions and executions from your server to your MCP server. So instead of you authoring all those GitHub tools, an MCP server would do it for you. Here the MCP server would act as a specialized interface and resources in a standardized way. In our GitHub example, the MCP server for GitHub contains tools like GitRepo and many other which we saw on the previous slide, and connects directly to GitHub APIs. Now our server communicates with the GitHub with the MCP server, which in turn handles all the GitHub specific implementation details here. So we need not to either write, maintain or test these functionalities. The MCP server would do it for us. If there is any change in the GitHub features and it's something new has been added or has been updated, MCP server would take care for us. Now question comes in, who can author these MCP servers or who can provide these MCP servers? So service providers such as GitHub, AWS, Azure, OpenAI, Google Cloud, they often releases official MCP servers which contain all the tools and the resources for their services. Now, as of now, unofficial data suggests that we have close to 20,000 MCP servers which are readily available to be consumed. Now there are third-party developers which are community members such as us, which can create MCP servers for any service, expanding this ecosystem, as well as organizations can build their own custom MCP servers for internal tools and the proprietary systems. In short, anyone can create an MCP server implementation and basically help us to have a rich ecosystem of pre-built integrations. I hope this explains what MCP server is. Now in the upcoming video, we're gonna see what are the differences between MCP and A2A or agent to agent protocol, and we'll also do it hands-on by building a low code, no code MCP server for us. Thanks for watching guys. See you soon.